From the heart of the valley, where stories echo across generations, this is Tiger Times.
Welcome back to Tiger Times, your weekly roundup of Tabiona news, sports, local stories, and hometown happenings. I'm Haley Ficklin.
And I'm Savannah Bowman. Today's Times Past story comes from the writer Florence Turnbow and is titled Sisters Meet a Brother for the First Time. Mrs. Theo Gines experienced a beautiful reunion when she met a brother she had never seen before due to a childhood family separation. Her brother, Bruce Quiring of San Pedro, California, had discovered through genealogy research that he had two sisters in Utah. He soon made the trip to meet them for the first time, spending time with Theo, her sister May of Camas, and extended family. A reminder that Tabiona roots run deep and reunions can come in the most unexpected and meaningful ways.
We will post the date when that was posted, and you're going to hear about Theo Gines later in the podcast. We want to recap what happened this week in Tabiona, starting with the purple and white game. It was the preseason purple and white game. Scrimmage was full of energy and Tiger pride. It's always a fun tradition for the community. They showed up strong, and both teams showed promising talent heading into the opening week. Basketball is my favorite season. It was an electric opening weekend for Tabiona basketball, with both the Lady Tigers and the boys team delivering big-time performances on their home court.
The Lady Tigers kicked off their season in style with a 49-27 victory over the Paiute Thunderbirds on Friday. Paiute came in hungry for redemption after their March 2024 loss to Tabiona, but the Lady Tigers shut that down quickly. Strong defense, confident shooting, and steady teamwork carried them from start to finish. The win launches the Lady Tigers 1-0 on the season.
Savannah, I felt like we definitely were overlooked after watching these girls play. They are an amazing team. What was your insights from watching the girls play?
My insights were we have a deep bench. I think he played probably 10, 11 girls, and they can come in and give you some energy. So it'll be exciting to see as the year progresses. The girls all worked really hard and together they're very competitive. You saw that from the purple and white game. I know this is going to be a very exciting season for girls Tabiona basketball. I expect a lot of wins. By March, I'll be excited for the state tournament for these girls for sure.
It reminds me a lot of your season when you were a junior. It's just a lot of momentum and excitement. And once these girls find their rhythm, it'll be amazing. Boys game recap Friday versus Paiute. The boys team had a tougher opener, falling 48-36 to the Paiute Thunderbirds. Paiute came ready to avenge their last matchup, and they executed well on both ends of the floor. Even in the loss, Tabiona showcased a standout performance. Rocky Roads dominated with 23 points and 10 rebounds, keeping the Tigers battling throughout the game.
This week's Tiger Time Celebrity of the Week is none other than Marty Thomas, who became the unexpected star of Friday night's boys game.
Marty was ejected for what most fans would classify as mild, perfectly reasonable behavior, but the referee, in display of peak emotional sensitivity, saw things differently. In the chaos that followed, Marty helped secure Tabiona's first crowd technical of the season, instantly cementing his place in local sports folklore.
Congratulations, Marty, for turning a normal comment into a legendary moment, for taking one for the whole Tiger crowd, and for giving us all a storyline of the week. You just didn't attend the game, you became the icon. Now on to Saturday's game.
The Tigers bounced back less than 24 hours later in a dramatic fashion, defeating Grand County Red Devils 70-67 in overtime. It was a nail biter that had the whole gym on its feet, and I couldn't even watch the foul shots.
Rocky Roads was unstoppable again, putting up 32 points and 10 rebounds, securing his second double-double of the week. Alfreda Giles also came up big with 10 points and 8 rebounds, making clutch plays down the stretch. With the win, the Tigers even their record 1-1, while Grand County falls to 0-2.
This is a rare season where freshmen are seeing a lot of varsity minutes.
Yes, all 3 of our seniors fouled out at the end of that game on Saturday, and we had 3 freshmen and 2 juniors to finish that game out. What an impressive way to step up for our freshmen. Our freshmen came up big in overtime, all 3 of them in different ways. Coach Gines even said he doesn't even know if he can remember a time in his entire career that he's had 3 freshmen in a varsity game at a time, ever. So this is a very rare season for Tabiona. They never quit. These kids have hard work ethic in them. It's going to be exciting to see how they grow the next 4 years. It was a fun night in Tabiona Saturday.
So stay tuned for the rest of the season and keep coming back to Tiger Times to hear more about these awesome girls that are playing. Once they get their rhythm, I think we're going to have a star shining season. With the boys, it's just going to be so fun to watch this team grow together. So it's going to be exciting. And now we're going to move into our new segment that we're going to do on the podcast called Voices of the Valley. We had a wonderful opportunity of interviewing a wonderful woman. Doing this podcast has been so fun for me, getting to know more about our community. And it was so incredible to interview her. We went to her home. She was full of insight.
We walked into her house and she had no idea we were coming. We kind of was hoping to catch her at home. We walked in. I said, "Hi, I don't know if you'll know who we are." She goes, "Yeah, I do. You're those Giants girls." I'm most excited about this segment to hear their insights and the changes that they've seen in their lifetime just here in the valley. The things that I think we take a little bit for granted in today's day and age. To be in her home, just to listen and talk with her. I know this is going to be my favorite part of doing this podcast. I can't wait to do the next one.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, we're here with Alfreda Giles. We're very excited to talk to her today. Alfreda, can you tell us how old you are, when you were born, where you were born?
I was born in Heber City. Mrs. Staff was a midwife, and so I was born in Heber, but a lot of people were here.
So, when is your birthday?
November 13th, 1929,
And how old are you today?
96.
What is your earliest memory of living here in the valley?
We lived down on the farm down below town. Uncle Shake and Aunt Jill lived in the cabin that's still there, and we lived in a cabin a block or two. We had to go down over quite a hill to get to the river to get our water. I remember me and Jean making playhouses in the willows, a room here and there. I remember how the winters were at school. I had to walk up, with the up through the field to get there. Had these long brown socks. We walked up to the highway. Roy Giles was a bus driver, and sometimes my socks would be wet halfway up. We didn't have a lot of boots and stuff like that in those days. I started school when I was only 4, because being in November, I was late. And I can remember standing out on the steps and crying. I wanted to go home. The teacher was Miss Blake, and she said, "Oh, just work with her, let her be for a while, she'll be all right." Apparently I was.
How many siblings did you have?
5.
How many brothers and how many sisters?
3 brothers and 2 sisters. I'm the oldest, and I had a brother, then a sister, and another brother. And we were my mom's first, the 4 of us. And then she married, after my dad died, she married his uncle, and he was an Ivy too, Pete Ivy. Then they had Joan and Randy, and we were all Ivies. So Joan was really old before she realized we were half. She didn't know.
How old were you when your dad passed away?
11.
How did your dad pass away?
He fell, and he had a rupture somewhere. Mom did a good job. In those days, they didn't have like welfare. But I know Uncle Shake and them helped her. I remember her and Boyd Williams going each summer to get wood.
What are some of your favorite meals or things that you had growing up?
We grew up on macaroni and potato juice.
Do you still like it to this day?
I do. I picked it because it's fast and easy, and if I get hungry for something made, not from the store.
What are some other of your favorite memories of growing up in Tabiona?
I just think being able to go out and about, we'd have a bonfire out by Cleo's too. We'd get together at night, a bunch of the town kids or whoever could. Sometimes we'd play hide and seek or something. Sometimes we just sat.
So, when you were young, what came into the valley that you guys were just like, "Oh my goodness, this is unreal.
I can remember the lights because we lived in the cabin, 2 rooms, and my grandma lived there where the town hall is. We heard it was coming on anyway. I ran over to my grandma's and turned on the light. Cousin Dean was mad. He wanted to be the one to turn it on.
When electricity came into the valley, was that pretty exciting when you turned that light on?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I guess getting cars, because for a long time we didn't have a car. We didn't have a car when I got married, in our family.
Do you remember who was the first to get a car?
Probably Mooney's or White's that owned the store here.
Yeah. Do you remember your first car?
It was, what do you call it, where it's not very big, but it does have a seat in the back, a shield, something, just a little car. And our first new car was a Plymouth. It was the light green, and oh my goodness, we were so proud.
What business or building do you remember that isn't here anymore?
The old dance hall where we'd have roller skating every Saturday, dances at night later on. You just went and everybody danced with everybody.
So, on a typical Saturday night when you're a teenager or growing up, is that where you would be on a Saturday night?
Probably, yes.
What kind of dancing did you do then?
Just regular, not a little bit of jitterbug and that, but mostly just normal. There was some that you'd like to dance with than
Yeah.
others, but for the most part, we were just all pretty much alike.
So, what's something that has left the valley and you wish we would bring back?
The Christmas Eve, where everybody congregated at church, and Santa came and brought us a sack of candy, and in those days, I remember the young men came here one time and I told them about the long socks that we'd hang for Christmas and with the orange on top. Because in those days, we didn't get a lot of fruit like that.
What do you think people today don't understand about small town life?
Oh, everything, the things that you have, now that we didn't even think about.
Like what things?
Like all the homes and that you have and make. And we lived with in a 2 room house forever. Uh,
How did you and your husband meet?
just here. I mean, he was from Hannah, kind of wild, I thought, but if you would ask me a time or two, how he proposed and that, and I said, I don't know. We just naturally thought, I guess.
How many children did you have?
7.
How many boys? How many girls?
3 girls, a boy, and then 3 more girls.
Then you moved away for a little while, right?
Yeah.
How long were you gone for?
Oh dear, forever. We went first to Heber. Don worked in the mine. We moved to Salt Lake, and he worked in the asphalt. Yeah, we were gone forever, raising our family.
What brought you back to Tabiona?
Maddie and Harley. She hadn't got started in school there, and we didn't know, so we decided to come out, bring them out. Thought it would just be for a while, and they'd be with their mom. But as you can see, it lasted. And once Don got here, he didn't want to leave. I would have went back. He did. Yeah, it was. I don't know where they would have gone, if we hadn't. And he missed going south with our friends. I didn't. I missed the friends, and it was fun to go, but I didn't miss it that much. Going through pictures, and all we got is Maddie and Harvey. And I said, I know we took pictures of the older kids. I got it. They must be in a box somewhere.
How long has Don been gone now?
14 years.
How old was he when he passed?
82. He never, ever took a prescribed prescription. He would take aspirin or Relief or something. And Wendy said when they took him down to Roosevelt, and the nurse asked what kind of medicine, And she said, he doesn't take any. And they couldn't believe it. She said, I know that because I do his wife's hair.
Do you feel like your friendship with Vivian helped you when your husband passed?
Oh, yeah.
Did Joe pass before?
Yeah, he passed the 16th of November of 2010. Don passed in February of 11. It's only 3 months, but it sounds like a year.
So do you feel like that friendship helped both of you through that?
Yeah, I think it did. We were young enough that we could get out and do things and go places.
Yeah.
Everywhere we went, I was a big city girl, the way around, and we got lost every time. We were to a ball game in Spanish Park, and it was over, and we started home. And I missed that 8 North where you go to Hebert.
Oh, yeah, through it.
And she said, we're running out of lights. And I said, we're running out of roads. Then I realized what I had done, so we turned around and went.
There's a story I heard about you and Vivian being the only cheerleaders one year. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about that.
Just cheerleading.
All by yourselves, just you two?
Yeah, just us. And then we'd have the pep club set on the stage, and we would do our thing on the floor. I have to get this in. I think we were only 3rd or 4th graders. The class ahead of us in the winter, had made a igloo out on the school grounds. And they had it up pretty high. And we went out for recess, and we walked in. We could just stand in it, and we just walked in to see what it was. She pushed me through it. And so I got up and pushed her. Oh my heck, that class ahead of us was so mad. And she had to catch the bus, so she had to go right out after school, and they just snowballed the heck out of her. And me, I cleaned my desk. I did everything to stay in school. And I waited them. Everybody gone, so I got home free.
You did.
They were so bad.
If you could relive one day in this valley, what day would it be?
Me and Vivian getting together, because she lived up there and I lived down on the farm. Oh, and that reminds me, we got together some way, and Anna Mae Ellis lived down there where they had a orchard, and we got some of the green apples and ate them, and she got sick. Oh, she was sick. We were walking because we didn't have not even bikes then. And I said, well, what can we do? She said, I want to die, and I want to die alone. And school was the next day, and she couldn't go.
Is what are your favorite things that you and Vivian enjoyed doing in your older years?
We enjoyed going shopping, or when we can drive and that, we would go to Price at least twice a summer, just getting together and doing nothing. One of the times, it was just before we couldn't drive ourselves, and so it's been 2 or 3 years at least. I was going somewhere, and I went out and started my car, and then I remembered something. Anyway, I just left it running, and the door opened, and come in, got what I wanted, went back. And in the meantime, she drove up behind me, and I don't know why I didn't see her, but I got in the car and started to back. I hit, and she just yelled at me. She said, you hit me. I said, I know. What did I do? You hit me. Got her calmed down. That didn't do much, and she said, what dummy gets in their car and just backs up? And I said, well, what dummy drives behind a car that's running? We had a lot.
I think that's the key to a long time friendship, is being able to call each other dummies and still be best friends, right?
Yeah, we've had a couple, but for the most part, you get over it, and that 96 years, you've got to do something that they don't like.
Yeah.
I just can't ever remember not being in my life.
Yeah.
It was.
How are you doing since she's passed?
I miss her. Seeing her like she was, I wouldn't want her back. You know, she's always so happy go lucky, and she didn't know me for a long time. You know, I'd go up every day and sit by her. But that one picture's the first one we had. We were. And then that other one was about the last time that she was kind of alert. They asked her if she wanted a popsicle, and she said yes, orange. So we had that orange popsicle, and we went to Salt Lake and just in those booths, you know. So a couple of years ago, I had made that size for us.
So if Vivian were here with you today, what would she say about Alfreda?
You don't want to know.
It will be a great reunion in heaven.
Can you imagine? She was 8 or 9 when her mom died. And what a reunion. All her brothers are there. Was her husband.
I think my grandma told me, and maybe my numbers are off, but I think we have 26 widows in the valley.
Oh, I bet. I bet. Vivian used to go to bed and count the widows
Yeah.
from Hannah, Clara. There was a lot.
So what would be your advice to all these widows in the valley?
I think just keep, you know, with family and going when you could. I'd advise to get out, not sit home and mope or something, and with family or friends, and
What do you hope the valley looks like in 50 years from now?
sort of like it does now. I don't like any more changes, getting any better or anything. Just kind of same small town.
What does it mean to you to be a heart of a tiger for Tabiona?
A lot. I can't believe the people that, you know, come here, call. I was going in house the other day, just not very long ago. I had a cart. They get a card, you know, I can go in and get my groceries, and then I usually give my card to Dixie to pay, and I go get in the car. But I was just going in, this guy was coming out as I was going in, and he says, "Hey, slow down, going too fast, just barely moving." But people are nice just to say things like that, and it just kind of lifts you up a little bit. Be yourself. Stay close to your family.
We want to thank Alfreda so much for her time in her home, allowing us to come take up some of her Saturday. It was such a humble experience to see the pictures that she had on her wall of her and Vivian together, listening to that love that she has for a dear friend and for her family. I just hope that when I get to her age, I can look back at life with this much joy and happiness.
To say I'm humbled would be a disservice to her, I think. How she talked about Vivian in those last few months. I can't even listen to it myself and not tear up to think about this friendship of 90 plus years. So again, Alfreda, thank you. She's just one incredible woman that I'm glad she was the first to do this spot in the podcast. And what an incredible life of resilience and pressing forward.
Okay, every podcast we want to do a hometown business spotlight. So this week we're highlighting Krissy Salon. Krissy was raised right here in this amazing little town and has loved the beauty industry for as long as she can remember. She is licensed nail technician, cosmetologist, and instructor, a rare triple threat in a small town. She now runs Krissy Salon, offering nails, lashes, haircuts, and more, all with the goal of helping people feel confident and beautiful. Krissy says her favorite part of her work is truly getting to know the people she serves, personally and professionally. She sends a huge, heartfelt thank you to all her loyal clients for years of support, and she thanks Tiger Times for spotlighting her business. You can reach Krissy at 435-777-4971.
Thank you, Krissy. We appreciate your business here in the Valley.
And now for your upcoming events to look forward to. Monday, November 24th is Duchesne County Council of Governments meeting. It will be at the Duchesne County Administration Building at 3 p.m. If you're not able to be there in person, it will be on Zoom, and they're going to be appreciating the outgoing mayors and introducing the incoming mayors. There will be a presentation by UBAG, and they're going to set the schedule for 2026.
Following that, coming into Tuesday, November 25th, where the Tabiona Tigers will take on the Monticello Mustangs here at home. Boys and girls JV will begin at 4 p.m., followed by girls varsity at 5:30 p.m. and boys varsity at 7 p.m. So come cheer on the Tigers for another exciting basketball game.
On Wednesday, November 26th at 8 a.m., come to the new gym and Zumba your way into Thanksgiving. $5 for adults and $2 for kids. All the proceeds will go to the student body. So get your friends and get your holiday spirit on and come Zumba.
Work off those calories before Thursday. Then, following that, on Thursday morning, November 27th, the Elders Quorum is holding a Cornhole Turkey Bowl. This year, the time will be at 8 a.m. at the old gym. All sons and fathers, grandfathers are all welcome. Breakfast will also be served.
And they ask us what we do in Tabiona, and there's not a day that something isn't going on. But remember, there's no school on Wednesday and Thursday, so enjoy Thanksgiving with your family. Now we're going to give you the answer to our tiger trivia. This was a question that was actually, we kind of researched because there was a lot of queens in the past. There was FFA queens, there was the harvest queen, there was prom queen. We really had to figure out who was the homecoming queen. So the first pageant. And Norma Amon was gracious and knew the answer right off the top of her head. The winner was Juanita Sweat, which we'll post a picture of it. I need to ask Norma this, but the crowns look like they're made out of tinfoil. But Juanita Sweat was the first homecoming queen at Tabiona in 1967.
Also, she said that Juanita was really nervous to do the pageant. She was very scared to do a lot of the stuff, but she sang a beautiful song and the judges loved it. And she ended up winning the first homecoming pageant here in Tabiona. Our trivia question for next week is...
So if you want to find the answer, you can go and buy the Tabiona history book from the park committee, Bonnie Roberts, Norma Amon, Renee Park. They have some also at the Hannah store. The question is, who and how were the Granddaddy Lakes named? We want to also let anyone know if you have stories that you would like us to cover, people to interview, or if you'd like your business shouted out on our podcast, please get in touch with us.
Message us on our Facebook page, or it's a small community. I'm sure you can find our cell phone numbers.
Piece of advice. Since we started this podcast, I am just kicking myself that I didn't do this earlier, that I didn't ask more questions, that I haven't spent more time listening to people. So if you are young or middle-aged or old, whatever that is, talk to people around you, ask questions, be curious, learn more about those people in your lives, because once they're gone, you can't ask those questions anymore. And as always, go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
This is Tiger Time.